Well guys, this is it. This is not what I was expecting so soon, but this is going to be my last drive in my 2001 Volkswagen Jetta. And it sucks. Well guys, this is it. This is the last drive. I'm driving in my 2001 Volkswagen Jetta. For those of you who don't know, her name is Virginia. I bought this car October 28th of 2012, right before I got married in December. When I bought it, it had 200,000 miles on it, and it had 199.8, so basically 200,000 miles on it. Right now, she's got 368,547, as you can see, and they have been fantastic miles. I have had such a good time with this car. I cannot believe I have to get rid of it, guys. If I wasn't filming right now, I would probably be a lot more emotional, but when I'm making a video, I don't know, it's different. But yeah, so the average miles per gallon I got out of this car on highway trips, I've had it to Florida a few times. I usually got about 52 miles per gallon, and in the winter time when it's dead cold outside, the worst I ever got was 45, which is still really, really good considering my new Jetta gets 46 tops, and that's like if everything's exactly perfect. The best fuel economy I ever got out of this car was, so I got diesel fuel at a Rutter's gas station in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, and drove all the way to Jacksonville, Florida on one tank of fuel. That was crazy. I crossed the Florida border and I'm like, I still have some fuel left, and then we eventually got to Jacksonville, the light came on, I drove back another 50 miles, and then I got fuel. But that was the best I ever did. I always wanted to get a 900-mile tank. I only did it one time, and it was 904 miles. I could not believe I got over 900 miles on one tank of fuel. Blew my mind. But my dad and I have put so many hours into this car, working on it, just enjoying the car. It's just been a joy to own. It really has. The one thing we liked about this car was it was just really easy to work on. Everything that you had to do to it was simple. My dad's been a mechanic his whole life. He was never a car mechanic, though. He was a tractor trailer mechanic, like the big trucks you see on the interstate. But because of his knowledge and his education, he was able to work on small cars as well. But he was really impressed with a lot of the ways this car was put together and just the way they had you fix things. There are some things about it that are really dumb and stupid, but for the most part, very, very easy to work on. And owning this car now for almost 7 years, I've come to know this car like the back of my hand. Just where everything's located, how things are done, what's required of what. It's just when you own a car for so long, you really get used to it. But the reason I'm driving the car now is because actually I told you guys in my last video that you would see this car in a couple future uploads while I still had it. But the very next day, I had a guy that I work with walk in my office and said, "Hey Jeremy, I heard you're going to be getting rid of your Jetta." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not sure who's going to get it yet or where it's going to go, but unfortunately that time has come." And he said, "I want to buy it from you." And I said, "Hold up, it's got a lot of issues." I said, "Everything that needs fixed to pass inspection are simple fixes, and they're not very expensive. I mean, like $500-600 tops, depending on what brand you buy, part-wise. But there's a lot of other issues that it's going to need over the next 12 months that are going to be required for next year's inspection." And I told him everything. I even showed him on my phone. I'll show it to you guys here while I'm talking, but I've kept track of everything I have done to this car from the day I bought it. Every single fill up, every single oil change, every single filter change, every single part I put on, every single thing you can possibly imagine. Whenever I got new tires, whenever I rotated tires, whenever I did anything to the car, it's all in on this notepad on my phone. And I showed him all that. He said, if you ever have any questions on whether something was done or when it was done, believe me, I can tell you exactly when it was done, and I can help you with anything that you need help with. So he said that he had the money to put into it. I don't. So he was willing to spend money for it. So I gave him a really good deal. He he has a good friend of his who owns Mark 4 TDIs, which is pretty cool. And the guy told him that based off the miles that's on it and what it needs done, he thought that this amount was a good amount. I'm gonna keep that to myself just because it's personal, but it's less than $1,000, but more than 500. So I think I made a pretty good deal. I mean, a car with 368,000 miles on it, it still runs good. It just needs some work. For a couple $100, I thought was a pretty good deal for him, and I made out too because I just put new tires on this thing in July, and they were $500, so I'd like to get a little bit of that back. So and I did, which is great. But the reason I'm taking the car right now is because since most of my videos that you guys see take place in my parents' driveway, because that's where my Corvette's stored, I figured I would just have this video kind of be the same for you guys, so you guys recognize the atmosphere and just understand where I'm at and everything. So I'm gonna have the car parked over there tonight, and then tomorrow at noon I'm leaving work and we're gonna go to get the title transferred, which I have the title laying over here, and get that all taken care of, and then go to my parents' house, and he's gonna put the car on his trailer and leave. And I told him I really hope that the car leaving my eyes experience is better than I'm expecting. I'm expecting to get kind of emotional and teary-eyed, but hopefully I don't. I really like my new Jetta. I have already fallen in love with it. Of course, it's a super sturdy car. It just handles beautifully. I love it. I love everything about it. So hopefully I can keep that in the back of my mind and know that I have a very good replacement of this car. So yeah, the next clip you guys are gonna see is us putting the car on a trailer. The reason he's trailering it is because it does run good. Obviously, I'm driving right now, as you guys can see. The reason he is trailering it is because the front left wheel bearing is really bad. Like if you jack the car up and just get the wheel, you can move it like back and forth, and it's definitely not safe. He actually drives he drives 52 miles one way to work every day, so 104 miles to work every day, round trip. And he told me that he did have a Ranger, but imagine this, it blew up. So he had to rely on his Chevy that he has. He has a Chevy Duramax, pretty new, a couple years old, but of course the fuel economy is terrible. He said he spends about $140 a week on diesel. And this he'll spend about $45, because he'll be able to drive this for an entire week back and forth. So it's going to be a huge improvement for him. I really hope it lasts him several years yet, since he has the money to put into it. I'm sure it will. So yeah, so he's trailering it home because it's not going to be safe to drive. You know, it's about 85 miles from my house to his house. So he really, and I didn't tell him to. He just said he wanted to trailer it home. So he's going to trailer it home safely, get it to his house, get the things that needs done to it, and then he'll go to drive it. So yeah, so like I said, the next clip you guys see is going to be us getting rid of the car, and it's gonna be sad. Gotta be honest. See you tomorrow, girl. I love you. Well, folks, as you guys could clearly see, the car is now up on the trailer. Sad day for sure, but at least it's going to a good person here. He's actually going to drive it every day because, like I told you guys before, he drives over 100 miles to work every day, to and from. So yeah, it's going to be put to good use. He's got the money to put into it. So Zach, you excited to have this car? Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a lot nicer than driving the truck all the time. Yeah. Yeah, he does have a legit truck here. As you guys all know, I'm a big Chevy fan. And he does have himself a nice Duramax here. But this is what he was driving every day to work because his Ford Ranger broke down. Shocker. And it was costing him a ton of money on fuel. Well, guys, Virginia is now gone. That is 7 years I've had that car, and now she's gone. But I do have a very nice replacement here, as you guys can see. I do love this car. Her name is, I've not yet told you guys her name, but I will tell you her name soon. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys didn't cry too much. I know I didn't. I was expecting to, but I didn't. But it hasn't set in yet that it's not in my driveway anymore, or this is my parents' house, but it's not in my driveway or here. So yeah, it feels different. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, please give it a thumbs up. Take care now. See you later. Bye. Alright, guys, so I thought about it a little bit. I'm editing the video, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna tell them the name because I'm not gonna really make any like Jetta specific videos. So the name of my new car is Gabriella. Now you're probably wondering where I got Gabriella from. Well, there is a lady who works at our Brazil location of where I work, and her name is Gabriella, and I absolutely love working with her. She's an absolute sweetheart. And when I saw her name one day on my email, I'm like, you know what, I love that name. And the next car that I get, I'm gonna name my car Gabriella. So there you go. This is now the new name of the car. Her name is Gabriella. And so now in the future, when you guys hear me talk about Gabriella, you will know exactly who I'm talking about.